Hi, what I'm going to do today is make an acai bowl. And an acai bowl is a Brazilian dish, and the makings for it aren't really available in a lot of places in the U.S. You have to get acai pulp, and real organic acai pulp is just impossible to come by. And so I have a way of doing it where I use acai juice from Swanson Vitamins that can be ordered in the mail. You can order acai pulp in the mail, but it's like $54 for just a little bit and a ton for shipping. So this way you can get an actual acai bowl and have it be fresh, organic, and wonderful tasting. So here's how. And what you have to do is it's the acai berry. They have a frozen pulp out on the market. And you have to get that, and then you make that into the acai bowl. But I live in a food desert, and the only acai pulp that you can get here is pretty toxic. It's full of a lot of chemicals, and it's probably not even the real thing. So how do you make an acai bowl without acai pulp? And so what I've done is Swanson Vitamins, they have an organic acai juice. And I take it and I give it a good shake. And now I'm going to make the equivalent of a acai pulp that's going to go in a blender. And I take this ice cube tray and I pour it here like this, just a little bit in the bottom. I don't fill it up all the way. I just fill it a little bit, because that way it's a smaller piece, and when it goes in the blender it can break down. So I'm just going to go through, and they're almost too full as they are. So just fill it a little bit in the bottom. That's good right there. Kind of like a third of an ice cube is a good way of thinking about it. There are like those tiny bar ice cube trays, and you could use that, but then they're kind of more square, and the flatter ice cubes tend to kind of break down. And again, this is all organic, and then I'm going to take that and it's going to go in the freezer, and that will be the basis for the acai bowl. Okay, a few hours have passed. These are frozen. So these are really, really soft ice trays. Dump them out. See, they're about half the size of an ice cube. And now I just put them in a container. And see, because they're thin, they're gonna, smooth out easier in the blender compared to like a big large ice cube or a square ice cube. And so back in the freezer they'll go, and we'll refill another ice cube tray, because it takes, I would say, about one tray plus about 3 of these to make an actual acai bowl. So I'm going to freeze some more and I'll be back. Now it's time to make up the acai bowl. And there's a lot of great videos on how to do it, and they're all kind of hard because, the blender always gets stuck in those videos, but that's just the way it goes. But I figured I would just go ahead and show how to make it, because I'm doing it with the little frozen cubes instead of the pulp that you buy in the store. So this is the only thing that I have available to be able to do it, so this is the way that I'm going to do it. And I know that a lot of people out there don't have anything other than this available as well. So I'm going to start by pulsing it a couple times on each cube. And what you want to do is you want to use at least like 17 cubes. If I do over again, I would have made the cubes like even less, even lower in the ice cube tray and use more cubes. This way they're a lot harder to blend. Those are stuck, so I don't know how those are going to do. That's going to be rough. Do now, so it doesn't get forgotten, is I'm going to add the stevia. Usually they say to use agave. Agave really, if you read all the articles and do all the research, it's not that good for you. It's kind of like basically about as good for you as regular table sugar. So I would say use liquid stevia. I get that on the same order that I get the acai juice. And, or, you know, maybe even experiment with raw honey. So, I use like double drops. I would use like 15 drops. This ends up being like double drops, so I use like half of that, like 7. And then what you're going to want to do is add your banana. And that will make it really creamy. And this is where you start having problems with things getting stuck, and you need to use like a spatula. I use this little knife because it works better. It's really creamy, so it can go into the bowl. we got all of it out of the bottom, so we don't have to worry. Usually, sometimes you can't. So, because it melts and is frozen, I cut the banana pieces up ahead of time. And in Brazil, I understand they just do it with bananas. So here is the finished acai bowl. It's all ready to eat, and believe me, it's delicious.